What is up, YouTube? HPJ here, and I'm coming at you guys because I have a quick deck profile for you all involving the new archetype to the card game. Coming from the TCG's version of Blazing Vortex, we have Warrock, a predominantly Earth attribute warrior type archetype. It focuses on the battle phase. Kind of reminds you of Amazonas, but yeah, these guys need some definite support than what they have. And luckily enough, the TCG variation of Lightning Overdrive was not only confirmed, but confirmed that it will have um, more support for the Warrock monster. So if you're a fan of this archetype, you're wanting to invest into this archetype, then give it a couple of months. Late April, early May, you'll have some support for the Warrock. Now, I want to give you guys pretty much my variation of Warrock and, give you guys all the nooks and crannies for this. So, let me go ahead go into that profile. We'll start off with 3 copies of Warrock Fortia, 3 copies of Warrock Gractos, 2 copies of Warrock Orcs, 2 copies of Warrock Skylar, and 2 copies of Warrock Bashilios. Then, we got 3 copies of Origin Gaia the Fierce Knight, 3 copies of Goblin Bird, and that rounds out our monsters. For our spell cards, 3 copies of Warrock Ordeal, 3 copies of Warrock Mountain, 2 copies of Warrior Return Alive, 2 copies of Pot of Disparity, 1 Harpie of Monster Reborn, 1 copy of Terraforming, 1 Harpie Spellduster, and 1 Reinforcement of the Army. For the traps, 3 copies of Infinity Impermeance, 2 copies of Titano Cider, then 2 copies of Lossland, and 1 copy of Metaverse. For the extra deck, 1 copy of Nightmare Cerberus, 1 copy of Nightmare Phoenix, 1 copy of Nightmare Unicorn, and 1 copy of Barrel Sword Dragon. Then 1 copy of Gaga Cowboy, 1 copy of Zubaba General, 1 copy of Tornado Dragon, 1 copy of number 61, Volcanosaurus, 1 copy of Drill Driver Vespianato, 1 copy of Constellar Palamedes M7, then 3 copies of course, Divine Arsenal Double A Zeus Sky Thunder, and then 2 copies of Elder Entity Nest. So the origin of this deck is that it's going to focus on special summoning each other a lot, putting a lot of the bigger monsters onto the board, and everyone's going to gain at least 200 attack and defense. There are some variations that I have seen currently that are, trying to fit in a lot of things. But for the most part, like, just because its starting lineup isn't so strong, you can at least make up for it with a lot of its own pieces, and then try to incorporate some other things, which is what I tried to do. For example, I threw in 3 Goblinberg because this deck has some really good access to a lot of its level 4 monsters. Goblinberg was an easy add-on. The fact that you can special summon a level 4 lower monster off of this monster can get you into some quick exceed plays. Now, Gaia, on the other hand, is just an additional monster because most of the tributes that you're going to have are for your warrior monster, especially if you're holding on to Bashilios, where Gaia can easily just special summon itself. And then you have the ability to special summon this card by sending a level 5 or higher monster from your hand to the grave, and then putting this card in the field. But it is banished, then you can banish it from the grave to change the current attack of monster. You're pretty much just using this card for its first and second effect. To easily put this card onto the field, and then have the ability to tribute it off to help you summon Bashilios. Then the other monsters, for the most part, are those that are attention to the archetype. You have Forteria, which allows you to special summoning. Allows you, whenever your Earth warrior monsters would battle, that you're able to add a Warrock card from your deck to your hand. So it's pretty much your searcher, and then it gives the 200 additional attack to all your monsters on the field until the end of your opponent's turn, which kind of does make it one of those battle-ready monsters. It also has the ability to special summon your level 5 or higher, so you at least opt that between Ops, Skylar, and Bashilios. Then you have 3 copies of Gractios. Gractios is our easy special summon. You have the ability to special summon your level 5 or higher monsters as well. So you at least go and get the other 3. Now, let's talk about level 5 or higher monsters. So we have Ops, I'm sorry, Orcs. Orcs can easily be summoned if you control no monsters, or all your monsters are warrior, which primarily this deck has. Then its ability, of course, is send one Earth warrior monster from your deck to the graveyard, which helps in the process of yes, which helps in the process of Forteria being able to special summon them, or you can have Orcs help you special summon them as well. Then we have the lovely Skylar. Skylar gains 100 attack for each monster your opponent controls. She has the quick effect to target a level 5 or lower warrior monster in the grave, such as summoning it. But then all warrior, then your level 5 or lower warrior monsters can attack directly, which is fine because you at least get the special summon. You can exceed or synchro. Exceed or link summon. You also get the factor that she is relatively one of the higher strengths, and she gains a little bit of attack power and her special summon effect. Then we have the big guy here. This is Bash Elios. During the battle phase, which your Earth Warriors will battle, you can have this card attack directly that turn. All Warlock monsters gain the 200, and then you have the other additional ability that you can set summon this card if a monster you control is destroyed, which that doesn't hurt too much, only because of the fact that that's initially what this deck does. I think that's about it for all the monsters. You go into the spell cards is just pretty much the same thing. Being battle ready. So that's why you have Warwick Ordeal, which gives you a bit of some draw power till its counters run out. And then you have the Warwick Mountain, which is a search for your monsters. You have the ability to search for some other monsters um, and just keep that flow going. Then you have Warrior Returning Live to grab some of your warrior monsters back. The Pot of Disparity, which I was going to continue to use. What's that card? Pot of Extravagance, but I just decided to swap out. Because Disparity is really going to help them until they get some extra support, and even then you can just pick and choose and then go from there. And you really don't have much other essential draw power, except for ordeals, but that's something that can be done on your opponent's turn. And you have your one as a reborn, terraforming, reinforcement, and duster. Going for the traps is full negation outside of metaverse, which is only here to help speed up the process to get your field spell. Dealing with your extra special summons from the extra deck, that's Lost Wind and Titanic Cinder. And then you have Infinity Impermanence, which is supposed to be your effect failure. As far as the extra deck goes, it is just stack on monsters for summons. What is it? Cowboy, 800 points, Warrior. Survivor General was an addition I didn't think I wanted to use, but can be very useful considering the fact that you can take any warrior monster in your hand and equip it to himself, and then he gains the attack points of the equipped monster. So you can stack on Bashy Leos and giving him 27 and become a 4K attacker, and then just stack on from there. You have Tornado Dragon for removal. You have burn damage in Volcasaurus. Stack on to another monster. You have Espionado. Same thing with Constellanite M7. And then you have your triple set of AA Zeus, which is sequentially just more extending on top of the Exceed monsters, and then just a massive removal. I also did add in Elder Entity Nest just in case the necessary run in with Dogmatica, and then just the fact that it can pop monsters your opponent controls. So that does help there in case. And that you can also get rid of them and just put in some other cards. And then your lineup for your Exceeds is pretty much blow up monsters with Cerberus, blow up spells with Phoenix, bounce monsters, bounce cards with Unicorn, and then all out attack with Barrel Sword Dragon. So, yeah, that is pretty much the synopsis of the deck itself. I hope you guys do enjoy the video. If you have anything you want to add on with Warrock monsters, I say Warrock monsters, please go ahead, feel free to in the comment section below. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll catch you all next time. HPJ signing out. Take care.